Hi there. Are you somebody who has rheumatoid arthritis and specifically in your hips? Maybe you're somebody who you wake up in the morning and it's a little uncomfortable, but as you get moving, it kind of goes away. Or maybe you're somebody on the other end of that spectrum and it's really pretty bad. It's a pretty severe pain and you have to deal with it on a regular basis. Well, if so, friend, this video is for you. Hi there, my name is Morgan Rysdon, and I'm the creator of Center Studio, where I teach people skills to feel more comfortable more often. And before I get started, friend, of course, as always, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that way anytime I make a video like this, you'll know. So today's video was inspired by an email that I received, and I got this email from a fellow. He said his fiance is experiencing a very, very heavy pain. So from what I understand, she's been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. She was a professional athlete of sorts before, and also she's predisposed to this. Like genetically speaking, she is prone to having joint problems, so it kind of created this perfect combination, this perfect storm for her having this problem, and now it's become something where she's in a lot of pain on a regular basis. And he said she's really scared that this is going to be chronic. So he reached out to me for some advice, and I want to break this topic up into 3 videos for you. Just because I think the content that I'm going to be sharing with you is kind of a lot, and I'm going to make it a little bit more bite-sized. So today I'm going to be talking about the thinking. The next video I'm going to be talking about an exercise you can do seated, and then the last video is going to be something that you could do in upright. And I chose seated and upright activities because, again, this is the hip joint that we're talking about. It's a weight-bearing joint. And quite frankly, I mean, unless you're lying down, pretty much all movements you're doing, friend, require your hips, okay? It is the joint that is separating your torso from your lower legs, and it can be a source if you're having a lot of discomfort, and if you do have arthritis and it's inflamed, if you're having a flare-up, it can be so extremely painful. So I wanted to kind of break it up into 3 little videos for you all so that you have a better idea of things that you could do on your own to start to get a little bit more relief immediately, like right now. So the first one, what I'm going to be talking about today, is about thinking. And I wanted to highlight this because he made a mention, she's really scared, right? Which we can all understand if you've ever experienced pain. It's quite scary. But that being said, anytime people experience thoughts of fear, thoughts of worry, anxiety, those, my friends, I'm going to be suggesting are always sort of tightening thoughts. And what I mean by that is that our minds and bodies are connected, as I like to remind you, and we're tightening when we have a thought that is unpleasant, that's uncomfortable, that we don't like. And the more we can become aware of that connection, that relationship between the thoughts that we're having in our body, the more we can interrupt and interfere with them. Meaning I can release my body. I can let go of those patterns of tightening and holding. Because if I wake up in the morning uncomfortable and in pain, and my first thought is fear, that is going to tighten my body more. So now when I go to move to get out of my bed, I'm tightening all parts of my body, unbeknownst to me, as I'm trying to navigate getting into upright. And so if you can begin to isolate what parts of my body are actually tense, inflamed, flaring up, painful, you can at least relax some of the other parts of your body that are feeling a little bit better. And that way, when you're going to move, you have a little bit more freedom and ease in your movements. So let me give an example of what I might do. So for example, and this is actually real life because my kids crawl into my bed sometimes and steal my pillow, okay? So I have 2 younger daughters and they love to do that. So let's say in one case, I wake up and my neck is a little uncomfortable because my 4-year-old has grabbed my pillow in the middle of the night, stolen it, and now I've been sleeping all crooked for half the night, okay? So I wake up and I experience this discomfort. And for you, it might be the hip discomfort, okay? So I feel this pain. And now I recognize fear, anxiety, and stress. Uh-oh, I'm really uncomfortable. Why is this happening? So the first thing I always do is I breathe out. So I always let the breath out. Alexander Technique teachers focus on the exhale, not the inhale. So you let the breath out, lips close, air comes back in through the nose, and then out. And then I would think to myself, okay, where in my body do I feel good? So I'd wiggle my toes, my fingers. I'd sort of do a body scan from the very bottom of my feet to the top of the crown of my head and feel like, okay, where do I feel good? Everywhere but my neck. Okay. For you, it might be your hips, right? Everywhere but your hips. And then you say, okay, let me let it go and relax all the parts as much as I can that are around that thing. So in your case, it might be relaxing your belly, letting your thighs relax, letting your buttocks relax. So relaxing as many parts of your body that are very close to that part that's uncomfortable. So this is what I always do. I always think about what areas are the closest in proximity and can I relax those first. And then I continue to relax throughout the whole body and imagine myself moving and then breathing as I'm moving. Because you would be so surprised, friend, when you pay attention to your breath, how often when we're in pain, we hold our breath to move said thing, said part of our body that's uncomfortable. Oh, I'm gonna move my neck. And then we like move really, really weird and we hold our breath and we tighten. And you might be doing the same thing, friend, with your hips, where you notice that your hips are uncomfortable, you're tightening around it, and then you hold your breath to get out of your bed. That, I'm going to suggest, is going to make the problem worse because now you're tightening around that fragile joint that's already probably inflamed, already experiencing a flare-up. And so the more you can relax the muscles around it, you're going to give a little bit more space in between the hip joint, in between your thigh and your torso. So I'm going to suggest that you really start to imagine yourself in this state of calm and ease, even though you're experiencing discomfort. Okay, and I know that's counterintuitive because, Morgan, I'm uncomfortable, I'm in pain. Yes, my friend. Okay, yes. And I promise that the more you practice this, the easier it will get. But you have to practice it, okay? If you don't practice it, you're going to continue to do what you've always done, and you'll probably, my friend, feel the way you've always felt. So when we start to shift our thinking from this place of, I'm uncomfortable, I'm in pain, I'm tightening and worried and anxious about it, over to, okay, what can I change? Okay, well, I don't have to hold my breath just because I'm sitting on the toilet. I know it might be uncomfortable, but let me breathe as I move. The more that you can notice places in your body that are tightening in response to whatever area is hurting you, whatever part of your body is causing you pain. Again, for you, it's probably hip discomfort, hip pain. So just starting off with that first pillar, that first idea of, okay, I can at least pay attention to my thoughts, I can pay attention to my breathing and focus on where can I let tension go. And then next time, I'm going to be sharing a video with you both in seated and also one in upright, because again, our hip joint, it's a weight-bearing joint. So pretty much all activities that you do, unless you're lying down in a horizontal position, are going to be requiring your hips. So I wanted to look at two different things that you could do and start to apply some different thinking so that you could get a little bit more relief. So be sure to look for those, okay? As always, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, and then you can always share it with your friends if you think they'd enjoy. Okay, until next time, friends, take care. Ciao.